Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 5 of Alternate Careers. We've had a wonderful week of presentations so far, and we're looking forward to this morning's presenters as well. Before we begin our presentations today, we respectfully acknowledge that these sessions are being held on traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq. We're pleased to have you all participate once again. Before beginning, also, I'd like to introduce a couple of welcome videos for you. Firstly, I'd like to introduce our own Executive Director of the Immigrant and Refugee Services Association, Mr. Craig Mackey, and that will be followed by a welcome message from the Executive Director of the Workforce Development Division of the Department of Economic Growth, Tourism and Culture, responsible for Skills PEI, Mary Hunter. So enjoy the presentations today, and I'll leave it to Todd to introduce Craig's video.
Hi, I'm Craig Mackey. I'm the Executive Director of Immigrant and Refugee Services Association, PEI. We used to be known as the PEI Association for Newcomers to Canada, but our new name better reflects who we are and what we do. We still provide the same supports and services for immigrants to Prince Edward Island. While we recently changed our name, we're still delivering the same supports and services. Alternate Careers 2021 is a week-long series of workshops designed to allow employers and those looking for work to connect with each other. For the second year in a row, we'll be presenting all of the workshops online. It's a great format to allow representatives from a number of different sectors to share information and to answer your questions directly. All week long, we'll be hearing from such diverse sectors as trades and construction, bioscience and healthcare, human resources and administration, and from those who work in the public service and many of our community partners. On behalf of our dedicated employment specialists who have been working so hard to bring this together, I hope you have a great week and take the most out of these workshops that you can possibly get. All the best.
Hello, my name is Mary Hunter, Executive Director with the Workforce Development Division of Economic Growth, Tourism and Culture, responsible for Skills PEI. I want to congratulate the organizers of the Alternate Career Week. Congratulations to the participants in this event. The international experience that you bring and the wealth of knowledge and opportunities for our island employers make us proud to be participating in this event. Congratulations to Immigrant Refugees Services Association of PEI. We look forward to hearing the success of the event and wish you all the best. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Hannah Jones. As Todd mentioned earlier, I'm an employment specialist here at the Immigrant and Refugee Services Association of PEI. I'm along here with my manager, Amy, who you've already met. So I just want to introduce you to the day and the session for those who might be attending for the first time this week, and also for our presenters. Today's session is featuring 5 different organizations from across PEI that serve island citizens and residents. It's really an opportunity for our clients to hear about their programming and as well that question and answer period that will be featured at the end. These programs range in what they offer, but ultimately they're really about job development, employability skills and such. So really listen in and gain what you can from this session today. I'm going to pass things off to Amy, who will give us a rundown of the event.
Great. So today, as Todd mentioned earlier, we do have 5 presenters with us. Our first presenter will be David Harper. He is one of our own staff members, and he will be speaking to our Atlantic Immigrant Career Loan Fund program. Following Dave will be Bruce Clooney from Career Bridges. Next up will be Alex McKenzie from the Tourism Industry Association of PEI. Daniel Ohegbu will also be presenting from the Atlantic Student Development Alliance. And we have a presentation from the Women's Network of PEI today. They weren't able to send over a representative to join our call, but they did send over a presentation that we will be reviewing with you. So firstly, our first presenter is David Harper. Again, he's with the Atlantic Immigrant Career Loan Fund. This is a loan fund, a micro loan fund, provided to qualified newcomers that will support them to practice or find job opportunities in their field, whether it be regulated or unregulated. It also supports them to change careers to adjust to current labor market needs. And today, again, we're welcoming Dave, again with the loan fund. And I'm going to hand it over to him to give more information. And welcome, Dave.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Amy. So I'm the loan coordinator for the province of PEI. This is all through the Atlantic, but every province has their own coordinator. And I've got a short presentation on PowerPoint that Todd will bring up on the screen shortly. And I'll try to stay within my 10 minutes, and I will be available for questions afterwards. And I'll also be at the mixer later today if anyone wants to talk one-on-one, or and I'll give you my contact information at the end as well. So the Atlantic Immigration Career Loan Fund, which I'll call AICLF from now on, it's basically designed for immigrants who are internationally trained or who would like to change their career. And that's why it works well with this alternate careers program, because if you're thinking of switching to something totally different, we'd be happy to help you. So if you could go to the first slide then, Todd. So what is the Atlantic Immigration Career Loan Fund? It's to assist internationally trained immigrants by providing microloans to overcome any financial barriers. And this would help them become licensed, either in something new or something from, where they're previously from. Also to help entering the workforce and working in their occupations related or other fields. And it's to help with the cost of acquiring new training, education, and credentials. Can you go to the next? Thanks, Todd. And who is eligible? So this program is basically made for specifically for permanent residents or an immigrant who is a Canadian citizen now. To go through my program, you would also have to be a resident of PEI. But as I say, other Atlantic provinces, I could refer you to them if you're not living here. And you would have to have English or French skills required for the program or profession. So that would be deemed by, say, Holland College or UPEI or wherever you're going to go. It's not something that I would deem to. And then you'd also have to be a registered client with someone like IRSA. And I would assume most people on the call are. And if you're not, that's an easy process. And the one thing you couldn't have would be an undischarged bankruptcy. And that's just for the banking credit reasons. Our programs are not eligible for students who already have loans as far as us paying for your tuition. However, we could still help with things like living expenses or any items like books that wasn't covered in your student loan. And unfortunately, we're not able to help temporary foreign workers or international students. Our program just wasn't designed for that. Todd, if you want to switch. And most people ask what the funds could be used for. So quite often you need registration fees that we could cover, any licensing examination fees, training, tuition, any continuing educational fees. And we can also provide living expenses for short term. And so that could be up to $1,200 a month for 3 months. Sometimes that can be extended considering the circumstances, but that's the basic format. And we could also help with travel or accommodation. Say you had to go to Toronto to take an entrance exam or that sort of thing, we could help with that. And it's also for books and study materials. And if you're going into the trades, we could even help out with tools and equipment. And other types of expenses would be considered, like say you needed a laptop to take your course and you didn't have one. We could consider that with receipts. So the interest rate is much better than if you just went to get one yourself. It's the RBC prime rate, which currently is 2.45 plus 1%. So it would be 3.45%. And the maximum allowable loan is $15,000. You would only pay interest on the funds when they're withdrawn. So if you borrowed $15,000 but only needed $5,000 for your first year, you would only pay on that $5,000 until you draw out more. And then while we're in school, you would pay interest only on the amount borrowed. You wouldn't be paying principal. And then when you're done studying, you could have, if you choose, a 6-month grace period, and you would still only pay interest only during that time. And then when you finish your course, you would have up to 4 years to pay the principal and interest. And there's 2 other short rules, I guess you call them. If you leave Atlantic Canada, the loan would go into repayment at that point. And if you left the country, the loan would be payable in full at that time. It's a fairly easy process here. Step 1, as you say, if you're not registered already, you would register as a client with IRSA. Then you would work with myself, who's the program coordinator. And then if necessary, and I haven't had one client that's had to do this, if you needed to attend financial literacy training, that could be provided. But as you say, of all the ones I've done, that hasn't had to happen. And so you can either call or email me, and I'll show you this number and email at the end as well. And if you come to the mixer, I'll have some brochures with my name and number on it. And then step 2, we would meet, we'd set up a meeting, and there's a loan application, and you would complete that, and I would help you every step of the way if needed. And then we would need some supporting documents like your health card or a driver's license or anything just to prove that you're, and your PR card, to prove that you're a resident of PEI. And then once you're approved through us and my manager, Amy, who's on the call, then I would personally deliver your paperwork to RBC. So then once the RBC gets all your application and your paperwork, they would change, put a credit check on it. And this portion of it takes the longest. A client and I can have everything ready in a day or 2, depending on how long it takes you to get the information to me. But it does take up to 2 weeks at the RBC level because they have to go out to Toronto for approval. And then RBC or myself would then get a hold of you and get you ready to go sign the papers and make everything legal. Can you go to the next slide, Tom? And then once you are approved, there are some responsibilities here. You would submit receipts from payments for the expenses that you're asking for. And then I would have them to put against what you're having distributed at the time. And then you would request subsequent dispersals from myself for tuition coming up, or we would give that to you ahead of time, so you would never be out of pocket. And then you would provide me with update information, like say you moved or something changed. And then you would have up to 4 years to repay the loan. Now, they do have to be paid by September 2026. And that's tentative because that's when this program ends. However, that it could be extended, but we don't know at the time, but we would have to make your payments on that. And so there is my contact information. So it's david@irsapei.ca, and my phone number is 388-7116. And I'd be happy to work with anyone. I would do it on a one-on-one basis, whether you want to do it by phone, Zoom, in person. And I would walk you through the whole process and make it as painless as possible. And I guess basically, thank you. And if anyone has any questions, I can answer them now, or you can contact me if you prefer something more one-on-one.
Great, thanks so much, Dave, for that presentation. As Dave just mentioned, we can open the floor up, so to speak, now for any questions that people might have for Dave.
I might jump in with one to start off. And Dave, I'm wondering if you could kind of give us an example of a client who you're, obviously no names, but a client who's going through ACLIF right now. Like what's been their path, or what has ACLIF, how has it supported them?
Well, we've had quite a few. I haven't been here that long, so all of my clients are still in school, and it's worked very well. So once they're approved, it's quite easy. They'll come to me and ask for, say $4,000 for their tuition for Holland College, and I get a hold of RBC, and it's transferred into their account the next morning. So it's quite easy. So that way people aren't missing deadlines of, when tuition or anything's due. And I've got a variety of professions, from nursing, CPAs, accounting clerks, project management. And we're pretty open to who would qualify. Like, so say someone wanted to become in the trucking industry, because they would be getting a certificate, we could either help them out with the tuition, or we could help them out for the 6-week course they take with living expenses, because it can be a hard financial responsibility to actually quit a job and start a 6-week course or whatever.
That sounds great. Thank you for sharing that. And I think a really key piece for all of our clients listening today is to understand, like you just said, how vast this really covers, and all of the different employment opportunities or sectors that people are involved with, like nursing or truck driving or project management or several others as well.
Yes, it's really opened up. It seemed to be basically for nursing when it first started, or medical. But there's so many possibilities that anyone that wants to apply, we can see if that whatever course they're taking, such as real estate or something, qualifies.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions for Dave? Great. And if you happen to think of something later on after the call, you can always reach out to Dave at the information he provided, or our office, and we can connect you. So thank you again, Dave. Wonderful presentation.
Yeah. Thanks again, and
Thank you.
I'll just make an additional note as well, which you can all see in the chat, but Dave is going to be providing a longer presentation. I believe it's this coming Monday, and the registration link for that is available there. So if you're really interested in knowing more, you can find that out there. And also, as Dave mentioned, he'll be attending the mixer this afternoon. So thanks again, Dave. And it's, as I said, it's always so great to see our clients access the ACLIF loan and how much it benefits them.
Great. Thanks, Hannah. Thanks, Amy.
So, taking you from where you are to where you want to be. This is the motto of Career Bridges, a 12-week employment readiness program that takes place in 4 locations across the island. This is certainly a program that many of our clients have participated in the past, and I can definitely say how amazing it is to see the confidence that this program builds in our clients and all participants. So today, Bruce Clooney, the coordinator of Career Bridges, is here to speak about the program, its eligibility requirements, and more. So Bruce, welcome. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Welcome to this session this morning. It's been always a pleasure to have the opportunity to share the Career Bridges story. I moved here 4 years ago myself, and I've seen a lot of programs similar to this in various provinces and different jurisdictions, but this one certainly passes a litmus test for longevity. It's 44 years this year, and we, as Hannah said, we operate in 4 locations. We are in O'Leary, Summerside, Charlottetown, and Montague. We run 3 programs a year. We run a program in January to March. We run another program at the end of March until June, and we do a fall program that we are in right in the middle of right now that runs until Christmas. I'm going to bring up some slides here. I'm just going to select them rather than use all of them. I guess I've got to share my screen, so just bear with me one moment. If I run into any problems, I'll exit out of it and just talk off the cuff, so to speak. Okay. So our first program for the new year starts in January 4th and runs until March the 25th. And as Hannah said, it's a career exploration program. What's exciting about it is, I guess, that when you walk in through our doors, you're in a class of about approximately 12 clients, 12 students, 2 facilitators, and it's a journey. The only prerequisites, I guess, that we initially ask people is that they're work ready and motivated, that they're looking at wanting to discover some of the possibilities career-wise for them. When our clients come into the program, there's many paths that they will be taking a journey on. Some of them are looking at full-time work. Some of our clients are looking for part-time work. We have clients that are looking for self-employment opportunities. And we have clients, believe it or not, who might have already finished their work and professional career and looking for opportunities just to get engaged in volunteer activities and so on. What's exciting about it is that when you walk in, it's a 12-week journey that we take you on, and we help you unlock your inner strengths. We move on to teaching career skills, and then we arrange for you to go on work placements. The first part of the program, the first 6 weeks, takes place in the classroom, and we work on diagnostic and self-assessment, where we help you look at where you've come from, all of your educational experiences, work experiences, volunteer experiences, life skills, and so on. We help you put that into a package, into a resume, We help you work through some of the aptitudes that you have for some of the professions that are out there, and help you discover some of the things that you may not have been aware of before. Included also in this first 6 weeks are opportunities with guest speakers. We have guest speakers from every facet of PEI society in terms of the economy and businesses, different industries out there and who's hiring and so on. And throughout that process, you have a say in who those presenters are, so that we can tailor each offering of our program to the individual needs of our clients when they come in. The journey itself, as it leads you to the last 6 weeks of the program, it helps you define some areas that you'd like to get some work experiences in. One of the challenges when you're moving to a new place sometimes is that you don't know anyone, you don't have any local references and so on. This gives you an opportunity to engage in a work placement where it's of your choosing, and it's an area maybe that you've already been trained in, or maybe it's something completely different that you'd like to try on for size. We've probably had hundreds across the island, newcomers come in to our program from every country, every continent in the world. And the one commonality with our newcomer clients and with clients, I guess, coming from other areas of the province and so on, is that they are coming into class and they are wanting to discover their talents and their gifts, and to find a place for themselves in PEI society and in the economy itself. And we have had success over these 44 years in every facet. We have students who have gone on to work in all the major industries in the province: the biotech industry, construction, agricultural, IT, aerospace, fishing. There's very few industries that haven't been represented by some of the jobs that our clients have gotten in work experience as well. We've worked with clients to get them, if they have some upgrading to do, some skills to build on. We've helped them as well take the next step, which could possibly be UPEI or Holland College, to upgrade their skills. When we're looking at who is eligible to participate, you have to be out of school at least 1 full year. You have to be either unemployed or underemployed. You have to be legally entitled to work in Canada. And in the case of the clients from IRSA, you would have to have your permanent residency status. You would also work with an EAS, an employment assistance service, such as IRSA. And part of our, I guess, coming into our program is that they will work with you, and we will look and see if you're ready for our program. So you're looking at, I guess, basically requiring or new or enhanced job search skills experiences to help you successfully transition into new employment. And one of these employment assistance services, such as IRSA, once we've recommended you for the program, they will make sure that that fits in a back to work action plan for you. The final step into participating in the program is approval from Skills PEI. If you're approved by them, if you have no other source of income coming in, you could qualify for a stipend that would help you through those 12 weeks. There's no cost to the participants. The facility itself, one of the things I found with respect to our program, the culture of our program is such that when the 12 weeks are over, you still have access to the services and to the facilitators and so on. So right now we're in the last 6 weeks of our program here in the fall, and we have clients going out and in work placements, but some of them also have job interviews coming up. So they're able to pop back into our centers to help prepare for them. Some of the things we do to help prepare for them is making sure that the resume is tuned to the specific job that they're applying for. We do some mock interviews where we help prepare them for potential questions that may take place. And those opportunities for our clients go way past. We've had clients come in 5 years after they finish our program, 10 years after our program. And the one thing that they all have in common is that they've completed the program. They have been using our services and continue to use our services. And I think the secret sauce in our program, I like to call it, is the facilitators. Our facilitators, most of them have been around teaching our program right now for about 10 years, and they are trained to work individually to make this a worthwhile and individual journey for you, and to take you as our motto is to take you from where you are to where you want to be. I didn't want to have too formal a presentation this morning because I was hoping maybe to leave more out to the participants if there were any questions and so on, and I can answer any questions from on the program specifically, or on if we have any seats available right now, or how to reach out to us and so on. I have a phone number up there in that last slide, and our webpage is there as well with respect to it. But I just wanted to keep this more individualized because I did a presentation to Community Connections this summer with a lot of newcomers, and it worked a little better at the second half of the presentation to leave it out for questions, because there were a lot of specific questions on post-secondary or self-employment opportunities and how we guide people through that as well. So I'll leave the formal part of the presentation there, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Really informative, and as your motto says, you know, taking you from where you are to where you want to be. It's a great opportunity for exploration. So we're going to open it up, and if any of our clients have any questions, whether in the chat or if you use the raise hand function, or certainly turn on your video and audio and you can ask Bruce directly. Oh, Eric, go right ahead.
Good morning, Bruce. I wanted to ask, how many participants are in each class? How many people would be in the program at one time?
So in past years, we've had maximum 14, and this last year with respect to COVID and trying to keep our clients safe and socially distanced, we've reduced that down to 10 to 12. But the fall offering, because of vaccination requirements in our program, we've increased it to 12. So at any one time, Eric, to answer your question, we would have 12 clients in a class, and we would have 2 facilitators working with them.
Okay, that's great. And the clients, would they have like a lot of one-on-one interaction with the instructor, or is the training mainly classroom based?
There's a prescribed curriculum, but the prescribed curriculum is to teach and facilitate some general skills and activities, everything from mock interviews to resume skills to different assessments in terms of aptitude testing and so on. But there is a lot of one-on-one. The one-on-one is important for us because it's not a cookie cutter approach. We get to know our clients from day one to find out what their goals and aspirations are, and it's helping them to shape their journey in terms of what their expectations are for the program. And so that involves a lot of the classroom itself. There's a lot of small group activities that take place as well. One of the things I really appreciated and liked about the program is you come in as strangers, and before the end of the 12 weeks, you're pretty well a tight-knit family, and you're all rooting for one another. You're working with one another to support one another. So when you all get to know each other in the classroom, if somebody's interested, say, in something in the area of aerospace or biotechnology, it's not uncommon for another student in the class come in the morning and say, John or Ming, I saw this yesterday online. I thought it'd be of interest to you and so on. So there's a lot of one-on-one activity with facilitators. They're available during class. They're available after class. And they will, like I said, help facilitate that individual journey for each of our clients.
Thank you for that answer. Going forward, looks like Stacy from the Employment Journey, you have a question. Go right ahead.
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Good. It's always good to put a face to a name, although we were on here once before, so.
Yes, yeah, it's a
Morning.
year ago. But I just want to pick up on you saying 44 years. I didn't realize that Career Bridges has been around for 44 years. So besides the facilitators and what you say is a close-knit family between the participants, what other reasons would you attribute for Career Bridges being around for 44 years?
I think it's the fact that we have been constantly open to evolving with the changes. Like 2 years ago, we were preempted by COVID, so we had to suspend, as did all delivery organizations and entities had to suspend their operations in March month, and we were ready to start a brand new intake. So we decided to use that time to work with our facilitators to update our curriculum, to pull out some old material that wasn't relevant, to discuss different approaches and so on. And that's a constant breathing thing in terms of what a curriculum is supposed to be. So one of the things that we've added because of COVID was a necessity in COVID. Prior to COVID, even us sitting around today, virtually online using a Zoom application, nobody knew what that word was. So
Right.
we have been preparing our clients not only for face-to-face interviews, but also how to successfully navigate the technology and how to prepare for a virtual interview, how to set your room up, and so on. All these things we've been learning that as we go as well. The other thing as well in class is it is the culture and the atmosphere that gets created at the beginning. It's only as good as the facilitators that are in front of the class, but they have had the skills and the abilities to really set an open environment where students and clients feel comfortable opening up, and that is the key to success. As you know, when we bring students into class and they're work ready and motivated, but everybody brings their own life journey, their own suitcase with them, and more often than enough, there's lots of things shared in class that we all support one another in terms of mental health issues, economic issues that people face, adjustment issues for people moving here, and it's not just coming from another country; it could be coming from another province. I'm speaking from experience because I moved here 4 years ago. I had lots of experience on one side of the desk interviewing other people. And when I moved here, I decided that I was going to look at doing something different. I didn't know anyone. I wasn't really totally familiar with the economy, but I figured I had the educational experience and work experiences to do it on my own. So about 6-8 months into it, I was fumbling along, so to speak, and really thought to myself, I said, I need a hand up here. I need to figure out what's going on, how to navigate through coming to a new province and into a new setting. And I was at the Confederation Center for the Arts Library, and I saw one of your newspapers, Stacy, and that's what got me into the program. I saw the Career Bridges program, and I applied for it, and when I got accepted into the program, it did take me on a journey. I mean, it basically gave me a makeover. It allowed me to take the things that all my strengths and so on, and repackage them, and to also introduce me and give me a really good feel for the province, the different sectors that we're hiring, the different opportunities and so on that are there. But every one of our classes, the one commonality is the atmosphere and the chemistry that develops in the class. But they really do take you on a journey. For me, when I finished at the end of the 12 weeks, I learned things about myself that I thought I knew. And I really felt more prepared with respect to taking advantage of the opportunities that were there. And life became almost took a full circle turn for me, because I started out as a guidance counselor when I came out of university, and got into business in the second half of my professional career. And when I came back here, it was like full circle. And I would not have been able to write the script. My other contract I have is I coordinate the education for the Charlottetown Islanders hockey team, and that fit right in with my background, because I coached hockey with my boys when I was living in Newfoundland and raising them. So there are lots of opportunities out there, and one of the things that's great about the program, and I'll park it there, is that you don't get many opportunities to park your life for 12 weeks, where you can just say, okay, I've got 12 weeks, and this 12 weeks, it's about me, and it's about what I want and what I'd like to do, and so on, and just explore those things. You come in each day with a sense of expectancy. You come in each day with a sense of curiosity and a what if attitude. It's just such a joy, and it was such a joy for me. It was such a joy to see the journey the clients are on. Some of them find what they're looking for right at the end of the program, but to see them say to us and to themselves, I never thought it would be possible, or it's a stepping stone for them to go on to school or to some other industry-driven initiative that skills might have in the way of construction or whatever the case may be. The other thing too that makes it special, Stacy, and is that when you come into, for instance, our Charlottetown office, there's a map of the world up on the wall. And every class, all our participants have the opportunity to take a pin and go up and put a pin in there. And it just makes it real for everybody, because a lot of times when we come into settings where we're getting to know people from different cultures, different provinces, languages, and so on, we see people at a distance. But when you're immersed for 12 weeks, it's like yesterday, we had a client from Bhutan, and she brought in some traditional dishes lunchtime, just as a show of thanks. And many other times we're doing things like that. So, and it's not just traditional dishes from other countries. Sometimes it's cinnamon rolls or something like that that's been baked here. That's a traditional, like tea biscuits and so on. But yeah, it's a really, really special program, and it's easy for me to sing the praises for it, simply because I've actually been involved in it as a client myself and been on the successful end of it. So thanks for asking.
Oh, thank you. Thank you much.
Okay, are there any other questions for Bruce before we move on to our next presenter? Okay, great. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, no, I was just going to mention that I was looking at my schedule, so I will come to that mixer this afternoon. I'll register online for it, but if anyone has any questions, or if you're speaking to any other clients today, they'd like to have a one-on-one with me, they can. We are accepting, there are a few seats available for our January program, so I would encourage any of your listening audience today to reach out to us, and I'll connect you with one of our facilitators in the geographic area that you live. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And as you can see at the last half of my presentation or my commentary, when I'm speaking personally from my own experience, I'm a lot more passionate about it than trying to do a dry presentation on the how-tos and so on. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for taking the time today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Bruce. You as well. We really appreciate your participation, and we'll see you this afternoon.
Okay, bye-bye.
So next on our agenda, we have Alex McKenzie with the Tourism Industry Association of Prince Edward Island. This organization was officially formed in 1980, and it represents all geographical regions and sectors within the tourism industry on the island. It provides programs and projects to benefit the entire tourism industry. Specifically, Alex focuses his time supporting the industry by offering human resource services, delivering presentations on careers in tourism and culinary, coordinating Thai PEI's professional development programs, and facilitating e-merit products. One of his primary roles is delivering the entry-level cook program, which was designed to help local restaurants find new kitchen employees during the unprecedented labor shortage in the food and beverage sector that PEI is experiencing right now. Alex holds a firm belief that PEI is Canada's premier tourist destination and is thrilled to be assisting the industry. He enjoys sharing his industry experiences and suggesting rewarding careers in tourism with students across the province. So with that, Alex, over to you.
Thank you very much, Amy. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be here today. I always enjoy sharing some of the professional development programs we have going on at Thai PEI. So I'm just going to share my screen here really quick. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about Thai PEI first. So the Tourism Industry Association of Prince Edward Island, Thai PEI for short, is a not-for-profit membership-based organization dedicated to the promotion and advancement of Prince Edward Island's tourism industry. Some of our goals are to promote and advance tourism in Prince Edward Island, to strive for continued development and improvement of the tourism facilities and services offered to the public, to create a wider interest and appreciation of the tourism industry among the public in Prince Edward Island, and to educate and train individuals to aid in tourism labor shortages. So that's kind of what I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to share the entry-level cook program. So it's basic training for the professional kitchen. So in Prince Edward Island right now, we are facing an unprecedented labor shortage in kitchens. We were kind of in an awkward position when the pandemic hit, because there was, we went from having not enough staff to not being able to give our staff enough hours with the capacities of the restaurant having to shrink. So the pandemic did really amplify the shortage when restaurants started to reopen to full capacity. So this is kind of what the entry-level cook program is about. We're trying to address this labor shortage. So I'll get right into my presentation here. The entry-level cook program is a partnership between Thai PEI, Holland College, and Skills PEI. It's funded by the Department of Education and the Lifelong Learning through the Canada PEI Labour Market Agreement. So we created this program due to the initial request from local industry in 2017 and 2018. This is when industry really noticed that we have a problem here. We need to get more bodies in kitchens. So, we were looking for a very entry-level cook. So not someone who has to go through a 1-year or a 2-year program. We needed people right away. So this credential gives the students quicker access to employment. So it's training that focuses on fundamental core skills. So it's not very advanced training. So in this, you're going to learn how to boil a lobster. You're going to learn how to bake bread. You're not going to get into the very advanced techniques that you would at the Culinary Institute, but you're going to get the knowledge and skills you need to enter at the ground floor. So entry level. This is training where the industry and government are committed, and there's a placement after graduation. So I'm going to break down how the program is delivered in the next few slides. But what this is saying is we do have an internship portion, and during the internship portion, these students get hands-on experience in the industry. And our hope is that they stick around with their internship provider after the program is complete. So our delivery this year, we're looking to get 60 students over 3 deliveries. and each of the deliveries is 12 weeks. So you'll see the 6 + 4 + 2 there. The first 6 weeks is designed to, you get all of your certifications. So you get your food safety, your WMIS, your first aid. The next 4 weeks is the internship portion. So you're working in an industry kitchen. And the final 2 weeks is kind of the wrap up of the program. We bring them back to the classroom setting, and the instructors can kind of answer any questions that they might have from their internship. So we're looking to get these 60 students graduated before the 2022 summer season, which is the busy season for the food and beverage sector. So October to February, our delivery in Charlottetown, we have 20 participants, and those 20 participants are at Peaks Key. So that's where the training is out of. We developed a great partnership with the management of Peaks Key, so we were happy to deliver our program out of there. And March to May, we're going to do 2 deliveries. So we're going to do 1 in Charlottetown, and we're going to do 1 in Summerside, each accepting 20 students. So you get industry certification like first aid, WMIS, food safety, PEI best, service excellence, and knife skills. I got to see what they were delivering with knife skills, and I thought, yeah, I know a little bit about knives, but some of the techniques that they get into in this program are pretty advanced. So it's really good to have those skills before you jump into the industry setting. So you're not going to run into an issue with chopping. So this program is taught by industry chefs. So Billy Shields from the Row House, he was the 2020 Burger Love champion, I believe, and Samantha Miller, who's the head chef at Peaks Key. So I'm not totally familiar with all of the different skills and knowledge that they learn, but I put here what I do know. So they go through kitchen culture and safety. So how to be respectful, productive, and accountable in the workplace. They get their essential understanding. So communication, receiving product and storage of product, applied safety, kitchen smarts, portion control, and front of house and back of house relationship management. Food service principles, so mise en place, order service, and setting up your station and plating different meals. Cold kitchen applications, so you learn how to make salad dressings, sandwiches, garnishes, portion and cost control, and line support, so supporting the line cooks. Hot kitchen applications, so you learn your basic meat and seafood prep, vegetable and starch preparation, and soup stocks and sauces, so you learn to make these from scratch. You learn the prep and production of those as well, and breads and baking, so the basics of breads, simple desserts, and dessert sauces. So the entry requirements are a little bit different this year. We're accepting people from industry, so this would be the first stream. So let's say you have a dishwasher or a kitchen helper or even a server that wants to upgrade their skills to be able to work in the kitchen. We are accepting those individuals to take part in the training. Our second stream would be people who are underemployed. So underemployed on employment insurance benefits. So that means working less than 20 hours a week. And that, so working less than 20 hours a week, you have to be a permanent resident or a citizen of Canada. And those are the entry requirements for the program. So how to apply? You can visit taipai.pe.ca. Under our professional development page, we do have the entry-level cook training. The next step would be, after you fill out your application, to visit the employment assistance service provider, visit your case manager, which in this case would be at IRSA, and complete a return to work action plan. So once the return to work action plan is complete, it's sent off to receive approval from Skills PEI. So the expected results of the program is to graduate these participants with a certificate in basic entry-level cooking. And the program's only 12 weeks, so it's very attainable for sure. The opportunity to fill up 60 entry-level positions in 2022 for our food and beverage sector, which is something that's needed within the industry. It's a measurable benchmark response to the industry's immediate need, and it's a springboard for continued training and workforce development. I forgot to mention that this is a program that is funded, so it's free for participants. If you are not on employment insurance, you do qualify for a stipend, and our stipend is $13 an hour, so minimum wage for 30 hours a week. You're paid that for the 8 weeks that you are in classroom training, and you are paid by industry for the additional 4 weeks in internship. I will leave my contact information in the chat, and I will put the link for the application in the chat as well. But right now I'd like to open the floor to questions. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can certainly open to answer what I can.
Great, thank you, Alex. So yeah, does anybody have any questions for Alex at this time? And if you don't have a question right now, I'm sure we can connect you with Alex at a later time. We have his contact information if there's something that comes into your mind after the call that you didn't ask and wished that you had. We can definitely connect you with Alex then.
And I think one other point that I'll add to this as well is really that, and something that Alex had mentioned is this particular program is funded by Skills PEI, and so important to note as well, Career Bridges and many other short-term training programs that exist across PEI through different organizations, they are funded. So you can always contact your employment specialist, and we'll be glad to help you, with a referral to the organization, learn more about the programming, and they're really great opportunities to connect with employment, learn about yourself, gain new skills, and build confidence. All right, so we're going to go on here to our next presenter. So just give me one moment. So up next is the Atlantic.
The question just came in.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's a question here.
Yes.
That's a fantastic question. So the question, just Dana, you're certainly welcome to ask that out loud if you'd like, but the question, I'll just give Dana a moment in case you want to ask. Nope. Okay, I'll ask out loud so everybody does hear. The question is the course 100% in person? Yeah,
so the 8 weeks or the 6 weeks, to begin, are spent in the classroom. And yeah, you're there 6 hours a day. It's all in person. The 4 weeks you're in internship, obviously you're working in a kitchen, so it's very hands-on. And the last 2 weeks are in person as well.
Thank you very much. All right, so up next, we're introducing the Atlantic Student Development Alliance. This is a nonprofit organization that's committed to supporting international students in their journey towards meaningful employment. So kind of actually really nice that we're featuring an organization that is supporting international students. Through programming, resources, and peer support, the goal of the Atlantic Student Development Alliance is to build a diverse, skilled workforce for employers, and as well to build meaningful relationships and employment for students and graduates. Daniel Ohahegbu is the Executive Director, and we welcome you to share your presentation today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join this awesome event today. My name is Ikechukwu Daniel Ohegbu, and I am the Executive Director of the Atlantic Student Development Alliance. I'll share my screen in a minute. Can we all see it? Yes, okay.
Yeah, we're good on this end.
Okay, sweet, thank you. So the Atlantic Student Development Alliance is a non-for-profit organization that basically work to bridge the disconnection between post-secondary education and the labor market. And how we do that on the student and graduate side of things is working specifically with international students and graduates in the Canadian post-secondary, so at UP and Holland College and College de Lisle as well. And basically providing them with the necessary skills, tools, and resources that they need to thrive in the labor market. So we do a lot of programming. So we have 3 programs, which I will explain as we go. And on the employer side of things is basically also just providing the resources that employers will need to connect with these students. And a common trend that we're currently hearing is, the recent workforce shortage that exists. However, in retrospect, I would say, we have individuals that are on the island, international students and graduates that are looking for work. So it seems like there seems to be that disconnection where employers are saying, hey, we can't find people to work, and students are saying, hey, we can't find jobs. So basically, how do we bridge that gap? And to the employers here, please, I would love to reach out to all of you. And we do have a great student and graduate pool that are currently looking for work, and I think would be able to tap into the opportunities within your organization. And for students as well, for students and graduates, we offer mentorship. So we have a list of employers and industry professionals that mentor our students. We have our workshops and boot camps as well, where all our skills, professional skills development training and technical skill training as well happen. And also, I will be explaining more about the program, but yes, basically we're here to support employers and to support international students and graduates and to bridge that disconnection gap between both parties. Our programs for students include the Peer Pals program. So that's where we do a lot of our meaningful connections. So we do our peer-to-peer support. We do our alumni to students and support. And also we connect employers and industry professionals to students for mentorship as well. And a lot of that is assisting international students and graduates in building social capital, which is something that as an international student or graduates, we don't have much of. We don't have much of the network within the community. So how can we support students in expanding their networks, in delivering them with opportunities as well? So Easy Learn is where we do all our skills work. So that's where all our coaching happens. That's where all our workshops happen. That's where we also we do a lot of resume building, interview preparations. We do a lot of soft skills work with employers. So basically reaching out to specific industries and using the expertise within those industries to inform our students and our graduates on the necessary skills that are needed in the labor market. And that's also where we do a lot of our technical skills development as well. So there is a lot of programming in that space. The transitions is basically where the main connection happens. So that's where, before we connect a student to an employer, the student has to go through our program. They have to share the core values and competencies, that we share as an organization and that our employers are also looking for in retrospect. So the transitions program is where we do a lot of our volunteer connections for our first year students and our second year students as well. We do a lot of we seek internship opportunities, I would say, from employers. So as an employer in this space, if you have an internship opportunity or an opportunity for our students or graduates to learn and grow and develop and build experience, please, that would be a great opportunity. And we do have the students and graduates that are in need of those opportunities at the same time. And also mainly that's where transitions program is where we do our job connections as well. So all of our job connections go through the transition program. So as of date, we have had over 180 plus connections, and we have been able to provide or facilitate 45 plus jobs. And sorry, I'm just looking at my other spreadsheet here, sorry. And so the transitions is basically where we tap into our networks and also tap into the job opportunities that exist in PEI. So as an employer, if you currently have a vacancy within your organization and you're looking for talent and expertise to fill that vacancy, please do reach out to us, and definitely we will be reaching out to you as well after this call. For employers, we have 3 programs for you. So the first one is the job ready hire. So that's where our trained and skilled talent have the expertise that you're looking for. That's where basically that's the service that we provide for you. So providing you with trained and skilled diverse talent. And then we also have the graduate mentorship program. So this is a partnership, a 3-way partnership with IRSA and also with Skills PEI. So this is where we support our employers with basically a 50% wage subsidy program, and I'll talk more about it later. A 50% wage subsidy program to employ or to hire an international graduate. And the obligations I would also share with you at a later slide. And most importantly, we provide equity, diversity, and inclusion training and consultation. So with ASDA, as much as we're looking to diversify the workforce, as much as we're looking to bridge the disconnection gap between post-secondary education and the labor market, we also want to ensure that like our employers are equipped with the necessary knowledge, skills, resources, policies, practices, procedures to support this diverse workforce. So we do a lot of equity, diversity, inclusion training, consultation. We support with full cycle recruitment. We support with performance management. We support with human resource and human capital. So basically, we take a personal, interpersonal, and systemic approach in supporting organizations in not only hiring or gaining access to diverse employees, but also in retaining them as well. So again, going into your organization, conducting an assessment and seeing what that looks like. And so those are the 3 main programs for employers. And I would like to talk more, I would like to take this opportunity to talk more about the graduate mentorship program, and which is a program that we're currently running right now between Skills PEI and IRSA. So the graduate mentorship program is an employment program that helps unemployed recent post-secondary graduates develop new skills and gain work experience in the field of study through on-the-job training. So a temporary wage subsidy is provided up to 50% for 52 weeks. So that's ideally for a year. And it is provided to an employer to create long-term employment opportunities and assist with the cost of hiring and training a new employee. So basically, this is going to support you. And something that we hear often is, the international graduates don't have the skills or the experience. So this is a program to support you in assisting some of those graduates to build the necessary skills and experience needed in the job market. Okay, so the eligibility criteria for, if you're a graduate in this fall, the eligibility criteria for you is, be a recent graduate, a recent post-secondary graduate within the last 5 years. If you're unemployed or underemployed, you can utilize this as well. And if you're looking for full-time employment, so basically like if you're underemployed in that sense, and if you're legally authorized to work in Canada. So, and for an employer, what the eligibility criteria looks like here is be a registered private sector business or an organization, municipalities as well, and tribal council. So if you are an employer basically in any of this, like sectors or industry, in any sector or industry, you can definitely like apply for this opportunity to employ an international graduate. The requirement here that is required and is to provide a mentorship and valuable work experience, or I would say like a mentorship plan. So within the 52 work week, what we want to see between Skills PEI, ASDA, and IRSA is to see an adequate mentorship plan. So if you're going to be hiring an international graduate, what does that look like? And how are they going to benefit from that opportunity within your organization? Because yes, they're going to come in, but we want to see what your organization is going to, or what practices your organization is going to put in place to mentor this individual and to ensure that like by the end of the 52-week period, they have gained valuable skills, they've gained valuable experiences, and as well as accreditations if they're like if that is specific to your industry or to your sector. So we also offer a minimum of $15 an hour, and this is where as ASDA we just sort of like try to engage employers to say how can we also like pay at least $20 an hour. And I know right now the conversation is around workforce labor shortage, but also we have to also talk about pay shortage as well. So how can we support employers to at least pay some equitable wage to our international graduates? And then, yeah, but again, the minimum is $15 an hour, but we do try to negotiate with employers. So just keep that in mind. And something else is, you covered the mandatory employment related. So the CPP, the EI, the employer covers that cost as well. And yes, so ensure there's a proper workers' compensation coverage for new employees. So that is the graduate mentorship program. Currently, we have some spots open. We have about 9 spots open. So if employers are in this call and they're looking to employ or hire an international graduate and want to take advantage of this wage subsidy, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of it. PEI, Skills PEI, ASDA, and IRSA are here to support you in ensuring that the application process is swift. And I know this description is more so on a high level, but definitely we can either jump on a call or meet over a coffee chat to talk more about like what the graduate mentorship looks like and how we can support you as an organization in applying for this. And if you're an international graduate here and you're currently talking to a current organization, and this is also an opportunity that you can talk to the employer about, and they can also access this opportunity to basically, we're willing to chat more and support as many employers and graduates as we can. And yes, that's it for me. I just want to thank the Amy and the IRSA team for taking the time and for inviting ASDA to this conversation. Please do reach out. Our website is there as well. And you can also shoot me an email directly. And we're just situated at 31 Queen Street, and we can always go for a coffee chat if needed too. So thank you very much for your time.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much. And so we're going to open up the floor here. And please, if there's anybody who has specific questions about the ASDA programming, whether for students or for employers, please, now's your opportunity to connect with Daniel.
Yeah, Stacy, I see you.
Hi, Daniel. I think I saw on CBC News recently that didn't your organization host a job fair?
Yes, we did at UPI, and then we are actually excited to host another one at Holland College December 1st. So we did at UPI, and basically the goal of the fair was to connect our students and graduates, was to connect international students and graduates to the labor market, basically to employers and resources across PEI and the Atlantic region as well. So that was a very good event, and there was a lot of networking opportunities for our students, and there were a good number of international students as well as some domestic students that attended the event. So, which was a good mix to see. And right now I'm excited to see, I guess, the current engagement within the international students and graduate community. So yes, well, we have another event coming up at Holland College December 1st. It's going to be a similar in-person event, and we're currently reaching out to employers right now to show up to this event and to, like share experiences and share opportunities within the organization and industry.
That's great to know. And Daniel, I'll jump in and say any information that you want to pass along to us about that, I'll be glad to make sure that gets out in our own employment e-newsletter.
Definitely, I'll share some information. Right now, we just finalized basically yesterday, and I'm just working up a poster and reaching out to, but I would definitely share all the information. Yeah.
Whenever you have it ready.
Thank you so much.
All right, it looks like there's another question here from Michael. If you want to turn your audio on and you can open up the questions to you.
Hello there.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah. I'm interested in the graduate program due to the fact that I studied abroad. I studied in a different country, and I felt from my interaction with other colleagues or friends, the graduate program will make more of a work environment more friendly to me, because I believe I have the skills for what I want to do. But I would like to steady from an employer, and there are some companies or industries I'm interested in. But according to you, do you have your own industries you present graduates to? You offer graduates the opportunity to work with them, or is there like a process to that?
So internally, we do have like some employers that we are currently working with. However, like if an international student or graduate, is also like eyeing other industries that we're not necessarily connected to, we try to do the legwork for them in reaching out to those industries and employers.
Okay. Okay. So, sorry.
No,
I
please
have
go
a
ahead.
follow-up question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so applying for the graduate program, I saw the form online, but I don't know how to submit it.
So definitely, like, we can talk about that after this call.
Okay.
I'll share my email with you, and then we can talk about that after this call, and probably schedule a meeting between myself, yourself, and Amy to see how we can support you in finding an employer to then support you in the application. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I'll share my email with you after now, and then we can chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Daniel, I'm wondering if you could share just some of the examples of some of the GMPs that we've put through already, just to give the audience a sense of the types of work that some of the international students are looking for and we're helping them with.
Yeah. So some of the connections we've made so far are like, with respect to, so we have like a junior developer who is currently working for a website development, web development company, a web development software company. We have a social media and marketing manager also working for like a marketing and events company. We have an operations person and operations and administrative person working for like a UPS store. We have an accountant graduate working for one of the, I think it's the Purity Dairy, I think. Yeah. So it ranges from, like it's again a diverse skill sets and diverse industries. So it's not particularly just tailored towards one industry. So it's basically matching up, like industry with the skills, so yeah.
And I'll add to that, also having worked with you and mutual clients that we have, and clients are in the trades as well, and the job opportunities that they're working in are island-wide also. So are there any further questions from anybody here, any of our clients or any of the other organizations here? Any questions for Daniel? All right, that looks like it.
Okay. Well, thank you again so much, Daniel. We're very pleased with our partnership, and we look forward to continuing with that in the future. So we're happy you were able to join us today. Great information.
Take care.
Okay, thank you. So the next presentation that we have for you is from the Women's Network of PEI. And again, they were not able to send a representative as they are having their own internal training today. So all of their staff were busy. But they did send over a presentation that we will share with you and that I will go over. But just a brief background about the Women's Network. The Women's Network of PEI has been thriving on PEI for over 35 years. Over these 3.5 decades, they have had the privilege of working in the community and advocating for changes related to equity and inclusion. The Women's Network also continues to work collaboratively with a broad group of stakeholders and partners. So I'll start with the presentation, and my colleague Hannah is going to put some contact information for an employee at the Women's Network, that if you do have questions about the presentation, we can direct them over to her and get the information to you directly. So the Women's Network, who are we? So the Women's Network is a non-profit, not-for-profit organization that works to strengthen and support the efforts of PEI women to improve the status of women in our society. Next slide. So some of the current projects that they have, their Propel project, and their Trade Horizons project. So this presentation will also be focused on Trade Horizons as well, because they do have an upcoming intake for that program in the new year. So the Women's Economic Empowerment WEE project supports individual women to achieve financial security and transition from poverty to sustainable livelihood. This project allows the Women's Network of PEI to deliver its Propel and Trade Horizons programs, as just mentioned. So as you can see here, the Propel program takes place each fall and is a free life skills and employment readiness program that builds community connections and employability skills. The program focuses on confidence building, conflict resolution, group activities, learning styles, and overall wellness in the areas of personal development, employment readiness, career exploration, and community engagement. Participants also hear from guest speakers, employers, and mentors in various fields. They'll also get a tour of Holland College and the adult education programming to explore their programs, upgrading the options and job opportunities so that the participants are aware of what is out there for them. If you can go to the next slide, Todd. So Propel, so the eligibility for the Propel program, women between the ages of 22 to 45, and there is some flexibility in there, as indicated, who may have experienced either limited attachment to the workforce, may lack confidence, may have limited education, intergenerational poverty, abuse, family violence, mental and physical health challenges, lone parents, and people with limited supports. The eligibility also requires women who have faced barriers to employment and or career advancement, as well as a desire and aptitude to work and increase their employability skills and on the island. Women who have also lived in PEI, you must have lived here for at least 3 months and are either Canadian citizens or permanent residents. Women who are on EI, CRB, are working 24 hours a week or less, are on social assistance, or have no income. So that is also a requirement for this program. And also women who can commit to full-time programming. So the Trade Horizons program runs from January to April and is a free career exploration and college preparation program focusing on exposing women to trades on the island and technology careers so they can enhance those essential skills, explore those types of careers, and enhance their personal development. The participants will experience hands-on learning opportunities with Holland College, and will also meet mentors and tour with some of the employers in the industry. So lots of learning to be done, to be had in this program. Participants will also enhance life skills and focus on labor market research, resumes, networking, interviews, math, and team building. Okay, so the eligibility for this program, again, women between the ages of 22 to 45. Again, this is flexible also. And you also have to have completed grade 12, either through high school or through a GED program. Women must also have a desire and aptitude to work in the trades and technology sectors. Women who have lived on PEI, again, for at least 3 months and are Canadian citizens or permanent residents. Women who are on EI, CRB, and again working 24 hours a week or less, are on social assistance or have no income. The eligibility requires women who can commit to full-time programming and are ready to make a change in their lives through exploring new career options. And we have had clients go through this program with much success. So we can attest to the success of this program. So we do have a short video for you to explain the Trade Horizons program a little bit better, and Todd will load this up on your screen.
So if you've never been exposed, you don't know whether it's a possibility for you. If you're not sure whether the trades are right for you, applying to Trade Horizons is a great option because it really does provide that exposure. And so once you've had the exposure, you're making an informed decision.
A number of our participants go on to do upgrading, to either go into a program the following year or to go directly into a Holland College program. And we've seen women graduating as electricians, as heritage retrofit carpenters, as plumbers, as welders, precision machinists. So we've really seen quite a variety of women come out and are working in the trades.
Many of the women who have come in through Trade Horizons already have great hands-on skills and a lot of the skills that would work in these sectors, but have never applied it in that way before.
I worked various jobs to support my family. I realized that seasonal work just wasn't working. I knew I had to do something different.
I feel like there's people who do well in school and go to college, and then there was me. Like, I didn't really think that was something I could do, to be honest.
I'm originally from Singapore. I studied computer engineering and have been working as a game programmer for a number of years and had just been laid off not too long before I found out about Trade Horizons program.
Being pushed out of my comfort zone was hard, but I can't say how much I appreciate it because I wanted to show my girls that just because somebody says you can't, turn around and say, watch me.
I've always been a really quiet follower, and this is where I really learned that I could be a leader.
At the start of Trade Horizons, I wanted to do all the courses like electrical, plumbing. It helped me figure out exactly what I want to do and pursue.
The program is made up of 18 to 20 people participating, and we've seen women either upgrading to take a trade program at Holland College or go into apprenticeship directly.
And there's a small number of people who decide that the trades aren't right for them, and that's okay too.
You're going to pick up something, and it's going to be positive.
I can't believe that I didn't push myself 5 years ago to do this.
Put yourself out there, take the chance.
This would be the best weeks that you'll ever spend.
Explore the trades, see if it's a good fit for you, and learn about yourself in the process.
We only live once, and we need to take chances to be happy.
Wow, fantastic. That's a fantastic video to explain from a personal standpoint what it means to some of the people that have gone through it. So did you know that although women represent almost 50% of the current workforce in Canada, women are only a minority of trades and industrial technology employees? Over the next 10 years, 1,500 Islanders will retire from the industry, and it is projected there will be only 500 new entrants from the local populations. So some of the goals of Trade Horizons is to increase the number of women in trades and industrial technology, and move women from poverty to sustainable livelihood, and address the labor market that currently PEI is experiencing. So some transferable skills that many women don't realize that they have that can be transferred over to careers and jobs such as these. Many women don't realize they possess aptitudes and abilities that are easily transferred into the trades. Like things like great hand-eye coordination, detail-oriented, enjoying moving around on the job or working outdoors as opposed to working inside. They might be safety-oriented already and not even realize it, and have good listening and communication skills and ability to follow instructions. So all the activities of Trade Horizons and Propel are challenged by choice. The staff cannot force or make you do anything. However, they will push you to challenge yourself, to move outside of your comfort zone. This is where the growth happens. Trade Horizons and Propel are an opportunity to fail successfully. One quote from a Trade Horizons graduate: "Trade Horizons can change your life if you let it. I heard these words on day one of Trade Horizons 2015. I can't say it was all easy, but I will say it was all so worth it." I got to see possibilities for me and my family that before Trade Horizons I did not ever see as possible. I am now a Holland College student, 60 pounds lighter, have a whole new respect for my strengths and a brand new future for my family. So some of the supports for participants of the programs. The cost of the course is free. Training materials, resources, and supplies are provided. Work boots, hard hats, safety glasses, group travel to and from sites that you may visit or employers you may visit. Childcare and travel subsidies are also available, and stipends for those who are eligible. So what women say about this programming. As a newcomer trying to integrate into Canadian society, Trade Horizons was a precious opportunity for me. We focused on our potential that we had long ago forgotten within our daily lives full of struggles, responsibilities, and obstacles as women. Trade Horizons increased our awareness and supported us to expose our strengths, goals, and dreams. It is one of the milestones in my new life in Canada. And this is a quote from a client who attended the Holland College Aircraft Gas Turbine Engine Repair and Overhaul program after completing Trade Horizons and is now currently thriving in that field. Another quote about the Propel program. Propel was the best thing that I've ever done for myself. It allowed me to see my problems, issues, things I need to work on, and allowed me to see what I could change in my life. Now I know that I can get back up after I fall, and I know that if I need help, I can reach out. And some examples of what employers say of participants of this program. Traditionally, women are good at trades. They pay attention to details, are not afraid to read plans, follow instructions well, and have patience and good people skills. So the commitment that is expected of participants of these programs is that they actively participate in all the classroom and hands-on site visits, engage in their own career decision-making and learning processes, commit to the full-time programming, and treat themselves and others with respect. So acceptance for all these programs are based on the eligibility that was mentioned earlier. There's an online application form, an interview, if accepted, employment assistance support for return to work action plan, and skills PEI approval. And their contact information is just below there if you have any questions about the program. And I will say that for any clients that are on the call here, if this is something that you're considering, your employment specialist would be a great first place to start and have a discussion, and they can also get you through the application process, prep you for any interviews that you might need to have as part of that process. So reach out to your employment specialist. If you don't have one, reach out to me directly. I put my email in the chat here in a moment, and I can get you assigned to an employment specialist for sure. So we also have the contact information in the chat for Jill Olskamp. She is one of the program coordinators at the Women's Network for these programs, and you can certainly reach out to her directly with any questions that you might have about this presentation. Great.
All right, that kind of wraps that up. Certainly, if anybody does have any questions about the Women's Network and their women's empowerment, economic empowerment programs, you can ask. We'll do our best today to answer those for you. If we're not truly able to answer the question, we'll make that referral and introduce you to Jill at the Women's Network. So if anybody has any questions, we're certainly willing to try answering them for you. Go right ahead. Doesn't look like anything here yet, but I guess just, a summary that I see as a common feature of many of our presenters today is how much Skills PEI does provide funding to different people at different situations in their life, whether it's for short-term training programs, also for the graduate mentorship program. So there are lots of supports, and so definitely contact your employment specialist. We'll always be glad to help you to gain access to those different programs. So we'll kind of put out a last call here today if anybody has any questions. All right, so as we're just about to wrap up here, as we've featured each day this week, we're featuring a client success story. So this week's or today's client success story is featuring Nalin Pereira. Nalin actually settled on PEI about 2 years ago and has a background as an aircraft engineer. So Nalin has accessed the Atlantic Immigrant Career Loan Fund, and he's working toward his new career here on PEI. So we'll feature that video.
And I'm originally from Sri Lanka, and I grew up in Dubai and all, as my dad used to work there, and I did my high school education in Dubai, and then for my technical studies I had to go to India and I did my aircraft maintenance engineering course there, and after doing the course then I went back to my home country and I worked there for 6 years as an aircraft technician before getting a job in Middle East again for Emirates Airlines, and worked as a technician and eventually got promoted to an aircraft engineer, and I worked till 2019 before I migrated to Canada. We arrived in Canada in 2019 December, and my first work was as a customer service agent for Jazz Aviation at the Charlottetown Airport, and it was quite good and all because I found something different to what I used to do and all, and though a part of an aviation but a different sector of it, so I was like happy with that job. The career, I heard about it from one of my colleagues, like after I joined BioVectra after a while. My friend, she's the one who recommended the program and all, and gave me the contact number of the person to contact and all, and from there on it rolled on, and David has been like very helpful, like he's the one who contacted me and all, and got me the aids and everything what the loan required for me to do my course at the UPI as a accounting program. After coming here and all, and I did not find any job in my field, and also being able to work in a different field which is totally different to me made me realize that I could apply my skills and other knowledge I have on a different field, like get a better experience, where Canada is a land of opportunities and all. So I thought of taking up accounting technology, and it also has several components in like business management and everything, so that's gonna help me with my future career. Definitely, because it's, while coming here we do bring in some savings and all, but most of it goes, because it's gonna take some time for us to find a job here. So most of the funds goes into that and living expenditure. So if you're, for me it was a great relief, because like it took the strain off my own earnings and all, and it gave me some bit of relief as well. So like I could invest that money into my studies and all. I would suggest like they should be open-minded when they decide to migrate and all, because it's good that if you can get into the same career field and all, because you should realize you're moving into a foreign country and it has its own certifications and regulatory authorities and all, different from to your own. So it takes a really long time and a lot of dedication from on your part, like on our part, to get them recertified and get back on track and all. And at the same time, you should also realize that your age, you have to take into account your age as well, you should realize that we start the career when we're really at a younger age and all, and it taken almost 10-15 years to come up to the professional level we already have back home. So that's another reason for me to take up a different field and all. So it would be you have to realize the environment and the other factors also has to be taken into consideration, and also your age and everything. So you have to basically imagine what your plan is to be at a certain age in your life and stuff.
Great. Well, as a wrap up to today, I just want to thank again all of our presenters today, the Atlantic Immigrant Career Loan Fund, Career Bridges, Tourism Industry Association of PEI, the Atlantic Student Development Alliance, and the Women's Network. We really appreciate your participation in our event always, and for all of our partnerships. To our participants, thank you for your questions. Thank you for joining us. And again, if there's anything that comes to your mind after our event, please reach out to us. We can connect you with the presenters should you have any questions. Just a few brief housekeeping items to finish off the day. Just a reminder again to our clients to connect with your employment specialists. Again, if you have any questions or are interested in any of these particular opportunities or anything throughout the week. For the employers who are still on the call, just to remind you of an important service that we offer here at IRSA. Our multicultural education program offers customized cultural inclusion training for you and your staff. So if that's ever something that you feel you are interested in or is needed in your workplace, please reach out to us and we can connect you with that department, that staff person. And finally, just a reminder again of our in-person mixer this afternoon at the Beaconsfield Carriage House, number 2 Kent Street, from 3 to 5. We look forward to seeing as many people there as can join us this afternoon. And thanks again. We have had a successful week. It's been a busy but wonderful week, and it's always great to make connections, and we're especially excited to be able to offer something in person this year, which hasn't happened in quite some time. So we hope to see you there. Other than that, I wish you all a great day and a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, everyone.